cyberpunks and retro nerds, you got Tommy the Hammer bringing you guys another horror movie review. Today I thought we would check out the Christopher Lee horror film Castle of the Living Dead. This is one of those movies that I picked up at the local exchange at a rather affordable cost. And I've never seen it before, but I'm pretty stoked to check it out. I love Christopher Lee, I love gothic horror, and I'm tired as shit. Today kicked my ass at work, so I am totally ready to veg the fuck out and check out a brand new movie. So, while I do that, you motherfuckers are going to be checking out the trailer for educational and historical purposes.
Slowly, relentlessly, destiny ticks off the terrifying minutes of anguish that freeze the blood. The Castle of the Living Dead. In an atmosphere of horror, the story of a man who violates the forbidden frontiers of science to arrive at a frightful but lucid madness and atrocious inhuman crime. Starring the unforgettable creator of Dracula, Christopher Lee, in a new triumphant performance, breathtaking as never before, sadistic and pitiless, subtle and monstrous. It is a film with a thrill a minute. It will hold you spellbound with its unexpected, shocking surprises, in which tragic reality and unearthly fantasy blend in an atmosphere of horror and suspense.
Well, guys, I would have to say that this movie, Castle of the Living Dead, was nothing but a lot of wasted opportunities. And let me elaborate on that a little bit more here. The things that I did like about the film, the mood and Christopher Lee, and the overall setting and set designs were kind of overshadowed by some misdirections by the director. Most of the movie just kind of meanders on. It's very slow. It's a black and white film, which I know turns a lot of young people off. But as you're watching the movie, me personally, I found that I was simultaneously intrigued and bored all at the same time. Somehow this movie, with all these interesting elements, just really came off kind of boring. The basic plot is about a traveling circus that gets invited to a old Gothic castle, and the count of this castle, played by Christopher Lee, is kind of a brooding and weird individual. Fast forward a bit on the plot, and as it turns out, Christopher Lee is kind of this mad scientist of sorts that embalms his human victims for his own personal display. Now, the plot within itself, it's nothing too fancy, but, there's potential there. This really could have been a moody and excellent gothic piece of black and white horror, and ultimately at the end, I was bored out of my mind. One of the other things that I did enjoy about the movie, though, is the set designs and these awesome giant stone statues of animals and mythological creatures. Whenever the director would film a scene around these set pieces, I found that my interest livened up. They were beautiful and gothic and dark. Sad to say, a lot of those scenes are few and far in between. He doesn't use them anywhere near enough in the film, and the overall movie kind of suffers because of that. There's also a cameo or small role appearance from Donald Sutherland, and from what I read online, he actually plays 3 characters in this movie, but I only ended up seeing 1. And, his time on screen is so short-lived that it's barely worth noting, to be perfectly honest. But at the end of the day, guys, Castle of the Living Dead is not a very good movie, and out of 10 stars, I can only give this one a 4.5.